Hey guys, what's up? A few days ago I was asking about a subscriber to make a video showing all my loadouts for all my marine classes on aliens fighting it, all the builds that I have, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have not tried many different perks combinations. I have not like tried to test it different, like a bunch of different types, try to test it in different difficulties to see which one was the most effective, especially like on insane. Or insane, I pretty much like use it the same build that I just like equip the perks and I'm like, oh, I think this is gonna work, and oh, it worked. So, and I think that I don't think it's like something that you need to do like a very big research on. It's like some things are just obvious. There are some abilities that are more useful than others. There are some perks that can help more than others, and that's kind of like the approach that I had there. I have completed the game in everything. I have all the achievements in this game. I have completed the game on Insane, which I mainly did using my gunner build, which is not this one right now. Shit, I think I changed it. My original gunner build for Insane, I don't have it anymore. It must be in an older video. But it's pretty much like similar to one of the recent ones, which was just a big focus on just overclock and pump shotgun. Because, on Insane, most people ask for best builds because it's the build they're gonna try on Insane. And on Insane, the best approach, which I did in most of the missions that I completed Insane, is just use the meta team composition, which is gonna be Gunner, Technician, and Recon. The Gunner is the offensive class, Technician is the defensive class, and Recon is like the support class, I would say. So Gunner focuses a lot on damage. Overclock allows him to do an insane amount of damage and to just melt, destroy the bosses. Frag grenades allow them to stun the bosses or just take care of the little waves of big waves of the little aliens runners. And Overclock is gonna just destroy the bosses, like especially the pump shotgun. It's this combination. The rifle, I don't really. I used it the heavy assault when I played on Insane because there was no plasma rifle at the time. It was before they released this one new weapon. But eventually I just kind of started preferring the plasma rifle. I have to use the plasma rifle on extreme, on intense, like intense. Most of my builds I can pretty much like beat intense solo. So yeah, they're good. On extreme I need that thing, of course, but usually on extreme I can have like a easy time. I don't really have to work that hard. It's not like a very stressful. I don't have to play so careful. You know, usually with people that are in high level, extreme is fine with most of my builds. On Insane, I have not tried on Insane in a while. Ever since I beat the campaign on Insane last year, I think it was. I have not tried Insane again because it was some missions where I'm still like traumatized over 4-1. That mission was a fucking nightmare. So I haven't tried Insane. I might try this year because some of my friends have started playing this game now, and maybe they wanna gonna try Insane. And I know when the new campaign on the end of this month comes out, I'm gonna try to beat it on Insane. But yeah, my favorite rifle kind of became the plasma rifle, which I use. I just focus on a lot of weak point. It has a very fast fire rate. Like you have a big magazine clip, and it just like the clip goes to 100 to 0 very fast. It just melts the aliens in. I just focus on weak point damage here. Reload speed. I think it's kind of it takes a little while to reload. That's one of its weakness, I believe. It's max level, so it has increased reload speed, fire rate. But since he has a high clip, I think he has a low reload speed. To be honest, I have not like evaluated every single rifle in like in detail. I have not like tried every single one like next to each other and make a very deep analysis comparison to see which one was the most effective one. I just tried one and I like this one. For the synthetics, I actually prefer the sniper. I would use the bolt action. This one is the heavy sniper, the one that does the most damage against synthetics. On Insane, I did get to use the sniper. But and the secondary weapon, of course, the pump shotgun, because it's just very strong. It does a lot of damage, and together with the overclock, it becomes like a submachine gun. The clip just go to 100 to 0 very fast. The clip just go to full to 0, whatever clip you have. You just melt the aliens. Like you just use your full clip very fast with the overclock, and you can just reload very fast, and you just shove the next clip right inside the aliens, and they're dead. It's very powerful. So the focus on my gunner class, my gunner role, because in most of my missions in Insane, I played gunner. I was just there to shoot because I have a above average aim. So like yeah, the guy with the good aim or the guy that is hosting should be the gunner, and he just focus on damage, That was like the meta for Insane. Just everybody just gunner is there to do the insane amount of damage, and when the bosses come, you can stun them with the grenade and just follow with the overclock together with the pump shotgun. And everybody's also using the pump shotgun because the technician perk also brings pump shotgun. Recon also can bring it on the pump shotgun. Like everybody focus pump shotgun on the bosses while the overclock is unlocked, is active, and the boss is dead. Nice. But yeah, Technician, like I said, is a defensive class, so my build is just focused on the abilities. I don't focus much on the weapons, like I'm just there to defend the fighting, defend my squad with the turret, the flame turret, incinerator unit, which is already OP. And the calls just to slow down the aliens, that's what I'm there for. Just slow down the aliens and use my turret has... The incinerator turret is good because it not only does a lot of damage to the aliens, but it also distracts the aliens. The aliens are gonna sometimes go for it, they're gonna attack the turret instead of you. But you don't want it to be destroyed, so of course you're gonna be shooting aliens. You're not just gonna leave the turret there doing all the work for you. No, don't do that. Just leave the turret as it damages the alien, has it go towards it. You are also damaging the alien. So I played Technician just in a few missions, and I just put all perks, focus on team abilities. Recon is this like the support class because he's there to provide ammo, because overclock makes you lose ammo fast because you just unload your entire clip in a it increases the fire rate of the weapons by a lot in reload speed, so you're just using one clip after the other and you're gonna run out of ammo. You cannot rely on just the normal ammo pickups that you can get ammo from, in the main campaign. Recon is pretty much obligatory because otherwise you're gonna run out of ammo. Not only because overclock makes you waste a lot of ammo, but the enemy is on insane. They take more bullets to kill. So yeah, you're gonna run out of ammo. Recon is like obligatory. It's very helpful. And the Pup's ability, it has the wall hack. It's very good to always know where the aliens are coming. If they're gonna be coming from behind, just not get surprised, because sometimes on insane you get surprised by aliens in the back, some bursters in the back. They just explode on you and you're dead. Or like you have a prowler in sneaking the corner and you lose half your HP because of he jumps on you. So it's always good to know where the aliens are all the time. Trust me. So yeah, about my builds. My first, I don't. Back then there was only one loadout. You could only have one loadout, and that was like my main loadout. Now I decided to make multiple ones, but they're not that different from each other. This first one was when I did this one when the plasma rifle came out, and I just wanted to make a very plasma rifle focus, a super plasma rifle build. This is more of a fun build. I never tried this on insane, of course, not even on extreme. This was a build that I would beat some campaigns on intense, if I just wanted to grind a little bit. And it was focused on I just put all my perks for rifle, just gunner rifle stuff, like Demolisher, gunner. I'm using perks from the classes. I just put a lot on the rifle, like the increased max ammo, fire rate again, stability, accuracy, everything. Like I'm just increasing as much as I can. A bunch of stuff about the rifle. Just put everything on that. I put some stuff here to deal more damage. When I have the full stack on full target, the ability to recharge speed, so I can use more overclock when it's necessary. Increase also when I get the stacks. So like each time you damage the enemies, it keeps increasing. Like goes to up 20%. So as you damage enemies, the gunner, even without the overclock, the gunner is gonna be the damage focus class because of the stay on target this ability. Because as you damage your enemies, your damage keeps going up to 20%. So like usually when like there's a bunch of aliens coming, you're always gonna have 20% damage boost over in comparison to the other classes. You're gonna always have the damage higher. So here's just more stuff to the overclock. This one I like because he instantly reloads my weapon in activation and increases the reload speed even more. So like when the boss was starting to come up, I would just empty my full clip, and when I emptied the full clip, I would just use the overclock and I would instantly have a full clip again. You don't have to reload, like pretty much like he would instantly reload my current weapon, and the reload speed gets speeded up even more. So this was more of a fun build to use with the plasma rifle. Here is a build more focused really on just destroying, the boss killer build, which I just put a lot on close combat weapons. Mainly, this is all for the pump shotgun. Increase ammo range. I mean, this one here, range is good. Max ammo with a Recon. If I had a Recon, I wouldn't need it, but lately I have not been playing with much Recons. I mean, if you're gonna use the meta composition, you don't need perks that increase ammo for your weapons, because you're always gonna have a Recon to give you ammo. Only if you don't have that available, you might want that. I like to increase some magazine because I want to have more bullets to fire before I empty the clip, because the empty clip very fast. Increase your load speed even more. With the overclock, it's really all about having a high clip and a high fire rate and a high reload speed. And of course, overclock increases that more. But if you have perks that increase it even more, it's even better. I don't put anything on frag grenades, to be honest. I don't need it. It's just all about weapons and overclock for me. The only insane was like this. Frag grenades, I just throw them to kill, sometimes to stun the bosses for a brief period. I don't need, that's all there. I don't need to put more frags on that. I just use them for that. You stun bosses, and if there's like a big little wave of runners, just the base frag grenade is gonna kill them. Like it's an insta kill for the normal little aliens. So I just focus on whatever is gonna help me kill the bosses, which is gonna be overclock and just a perks about to increase the efficacy of my shotgun. I use stay on target stuff. Overclock also increases stability, aim assist, just stuff about the overclock. I just instant reloading, increases fire rate even more, recharge speed. I thought about putting one to last longer, but I don't think it's necessary because once you activate the overclock, it's like 3 seconds until you kill the boss. I don't think I need to make the duration longer because I have perks that can increase the duration. But to be honest, I didn't thought it was necessary at all. Usually they would die. Like usually I would kill the boss that I was using the overclock for. And then I would like still have like 2-3 seconds left to use of overclock still active, and I didn't really need it. Oh, here this is a new one. I don't think this one was available when I played on Insane. Overclock is on cooldown. You gain 20% of its unmodified benefits, so you get a little bit of the benefits. I increased fire rate and reload speed even while you're not using it. There was another build that I used it for Horde, which would use this perk here, but I don't have it anymore. I ended up changing it because I stopped playing Horde, which would have this perk here. This perk here is very good for Horde, mainly because in Horde you cannot just you don't just hold on one position like in the campaign mode. You know, in Horde the aliens are gonna break through your little base where you're holding, so your only option is to move around and just go around in circles and try to damage them. It has to increase the distance between you and the aliens, and this perk here helps a lot with that. Just you'll be able to move better and just be able to dodge the aliens. Focus fire is interesting, but it costs 4 spaces and I end up not using it. I just wanted to focus more on my pump shotgun. Here's another build that is pretty much like the same thing. It's just I have more clocks for overclock. Oh yeah, this one has focus fire. It's just a different variation that I tried it out, and it just has a lot of stuff on overclock. Yeah, more stuff on overclock. I just put more recharge so I can use it more often. This is a different one, but I might change it because, like I said, duration is not even that necessary. And this one doesn't have that much of a boost on my pump shotgun. My pump shotgun is not as strong as in the previous build, but my overclock, I can use it much more often, and it has the focus fire, so it is gonna be able to do it more damage than the base. So yeah, those are my builds for Gunner, which was like my main class. Used when I played on Insane, most people it was not like that intentional, I guess. It's just that other people wanted to have already using tech or Recon for most of the part, or people who just I would just say, oh, what class you like using? Oh, I like using Gunner, so people who just let me use the Gunner, and I usually I'm just good with doing damage. So those are my Gunner builds. Demolisher, I think it's very similar to the Gunner. It's just it's an offensive class focused on damage, but a lot of people prefer just go with Gunner because the overclock seems to be more effective to killing bosses, and I agree overall. But the Demolisher is still good. With the build that I do here, that I just focus on the micro rockets. All my builds on the Demolisher, I'll focus on micro rockets, because the thing is, the micro rockets not only are able to kill a big wave of aliens, which happens very often in the campaign. They stun the aliens, do a little bit of damage, but they also give you more damage for your heavy weapon because of this. I think it's the clear of room. No, wait, is this, where's it? Is it said? It's the one that, like, when you damage your enemies with your rockets, you get stacks by each hit. So the more you hit, the more, yeah, it's here. Its activating ability grants 1 stack clear to only additional stack for each enemy hit. Its stack increases gun damage by 2.5% and lasts for 15 seconds. So this goes up to 25. So if you hit like 10 enemies with that, you get a boost for 25% for your weapons for 15 seconds. When new stacks are gained, previous stacks automatically expire. So what I would do to make I use it for my minigun build, which I have a video on it showing that I did over 1 million damage on extreme using the Demolisher. I would just use the micro rockets as often as possible. I would just always use micro rockets, and when I would use the micro rockets, I would get a damage boost, which sometimes I would always try to hit as many as possible to go up to 25%. So I would have a very high damage on my heavy weapon. And when my ability, when the stack here, this 15 seconds ended, I would get my micro rockets back pretty much because of this here. Because whatever clear tier expires, your ability cooldowns are reduced by 1 second for each stack that was lost. So if I had 10 stacks, if I got the full stack, which makes my damage go up to 25%, like I said, you get 1 stack, you get 2.5% damage boost, you get 2 stacks, you get go to 5% damage boost. If I got 10 stacks, 25, it would decrease the cooldown by 10. So in most occasions, every time this damage boost here, this stacks would end, I would get my micro rockets back and I would just use it again. So pretty much I would never play as Demolisher without a damage boost, because I would just use micro rockets. As soon as the micro rockets are available, I would use them. And while the micro rockets are not available, my heavy weapons have a damage boost that can go up to 25%, which is really good, especially with the minigun. So it's just a build on focus on always having high damage. And it relies a lot on just micro rockets. Micro rockets help not only kill waves of aliens, stunt the aliens, but also make your base damage increase. So all my builds are for that. So recharge speed here, this perk here is good because when you use the micro rockets on a boss, he's gonna get stunned, and so you get 20% more damage on him while he's stunned because of this ability. So, and I also get this stack. So sometimes with this here, my damage would go up to 45% if I have the full stack, because with this ability, the quick and dirt, it's just just to clear the room, I would have 25% damage boost if I got the full stack, and with this perk, you would increase 20% even more. Here it increases Radeon. This is important because with the micro rockets, you want them to hit as much enemies as possible so you can get the full stack of damage boost. Here increases Radeon even more. Here is the one that makes them another one to just the ability to see enemies, make them get slower. It gives more area of effect damage. Here one just increase damage for it. And here just perks to increase the power overall my heavy weapons. Here I just put one little perk on the blast wave, just to make the enemies stunned, because it makes them deal with that less damage. And also I want, because of this here, because I always want the enemies to be that are stunned or knock it to always have the ability to stun or knock enemies down, so I can do more damage to them. This one here is just same as usual, just I have less perks here for the rockets. I just decided to put different perks. I just tried the different combinations, but they are all my Demolisher builds are always focused on trying to use the rockets as often as possible, just because of this ability here. That whatever the clear of them expires, the abilities cooldown are reduced by 1 second. So when it expires, usually the amount of seconds that account for each stack would just make me get the micro rockets back. Here, this one also increases damage for my ability, but I mean, the micro rockets are not really for the damage. Like the damage is what actually the micro rockets are what gives me damage. Like the micro rockets are just here to kill waves of little enemies, stun the bosses. Don't care really much about the damage from the bosses, because when I get the damage boost from it, my heavy weapon is gonna be able to kill the boss, because it melts the bosses. Like the minigun, I remember like in my video with my minigun build on extreme, I was just melting warriors and praetorians. The damage was really high. And if you have a gunner with you, like if you happen to have a gunner together with the Demolisher, with the increased fire rate, the Demolisher can do an insane amount of damage with a heavy weapon like a minigun. It was just about the minigun. But this heavy pulse rifle is also good. I would say my best weapon preferences, I would have to be the heavy pulse rifle and the minigun. The other explosive weapons can be fun, but it's just that for higher difficulties you have the friendly fire, and you have to be just so careful. Here is maybe this is the minigun build. Yeah, it's same thing as usual. I just put up most of my perks are on micro rockets. Just always this one, the quick and dirt, that allows me to get the micro rockets back much faster. And all the perks are on the heavy weapons, because I mean, if you're gonna use the Demolisher, you're gonna just have to do something to make the heavy weapons better. For the attachments, it's just stuff about weak point. Sometimes reload speed can be good, fire rate, but I mean, usually it's enough. For my primary weapon, I mean, I would usually use now I use pretty much the plasma rifle always, or if it's an Android mission, I would just use a sniper. I mean, if it's a like insane mission, I would probably use the strongest sniper, because they can take a lot more damage. Otherwise, I would just use a semi-automatic sniper, just one with a better fire rate. But yeah, my builds are pretty simple. Like, the Gunner is focused on overclock and pump shotgun. Demolisher is focused on micro rockets and doing better damage with the heavy weapon. My Technician is quite simple. I like the combat pistol. It's just my favorite pistol. I go well with it. So I put weak point damage on the attachment, more weak point damage, and this one is just increased fire rate and max ammo. I have not changed this in a while. To be honest, it just feels like it works fine for me. Secondary weapon usually pump shotgun, because the Technician on his own doesn't do a lot of damage. So I just want the best weapon, like one of the most effective weapons, and the pump shotgun is just very effective. Like even without all the like perks that make the close combat weapons become better and much. I mean, it still has the attachment, so. In fact, this one here is very good. We increase the weak point damage and effective range. Surprisingly, the range for the shotgun is so good, which is like it doesn't even feel like a shotgun sometimes. I mean, I can kill aliens from so far that I'm quite surprised that it can work from that range. So like it can work from medium range, so you can kill the aliens from far. This helps with that, doing more damage. So the pump shotgun, even without any perks, even without using the gunner, just the normal one, it's already pretty good. So I just put these weapons here. For my perks, I only have one Technician build, which is focused on the turret, of course, mainly focused on the turret. I put Incinerator unit, Incinerator turret perk. I use a bunch of stuff to now. You can fire faster, deal 20% more damage. When it destroys, it explodes, and it reduces the base charge of our turrets by 5 seconds. Because usually when you lose your turret, depending on the situation, you can get nervous because you're like, oh shit, I've just lost my turret, which was holding the aliens, and now what the fuck do? I need to get it back. So this at least make it to recharge, get decreased. This one just a little bit to increase even more damage, because I want the turret to do as much damage as possible. Here, when the ability is active, I can deal more damage, which is good. This one, both me and my turret can deal 15% more damage to slower targets. With slower targets are the targets that are being attacked by the charged coils, which I'm gonna always be using. I'm always gonna be throwing those coils around, so it helps with that. So I'm always gonna be having this damage boost. Here's just a major buff to the turret: 10% stun recovery, 20% debuff duration, 20% turret HP. So I just want my turret to have more HP, so it doesn't get destroyed too fast. This one here increases turret HP regeneration while I'm near to it, so I try always to stay kind of a little bit close to my turret. Here is more increased damage. Just increase more damage for the turret. Just make the turret stronger. Here more. I can deal more damage to the targets that the turret has recently damaged. So it's focused on just turret damage, and allowing me to do a little bit more damage by usually stuff that is related to the turret. I think I use it. I think when I first use it on Insane, I think I also put. I think this one also. Just increase 20 even more damage. I think instead of the other packs, I also had the other one to increase the damage even more. Yeah, I think these two here are not bad, but I stopped using them. Let me take a look. I have not changed much, or I have not thought much about changing anything, because the turret is so powerful, like with Technician, that I don't really care much about the rest. With the calls, I just want them to slow the aliens down more. Just put a little bit of perks here, so they can be slowed down. I increase the recharge speed so I can use them more often. Because the thing about Technician is all about defense, is all about slowing the aliens. I don't think I need like much stuff in the calls, like to be able to, like, I don't think that we have perks that increases damage. They don't do damage. So it's just about being able to use them as often as you can and just slowing the aliens down. Of course, why don't you put more quick charges so you can use them more often? I think it's enough like this. I think because we have 3 of them, if you just know how to space them out, you don't need to have a lot of recharge. Even extend duration, I don't think you need to extend them, because usually the recharge, if you can use them you have 3 of them, and I think usually in most situations the recharge speed, even just with 20%, is enough. You just have to space it out. Don't throw the 3 of them one after the other. You space it out in an area, and I think the amount of time that they last is enough to slow the aliens down. And usually there are turrets in your teammates are gonna kill them for you. So yeah, I wouldn't say this is the most effective Technician build. Like I said, I wasn't a Technician main on Insane, but it worked well. I mean, this is pretty much what I used it on the few times that I played Technician on Insane, And to be honest, I mean, the turret is gonna do all the work. You just have to throw the calls, and the turret's gonna be doing a lot of work for you. And you just have to always be ready for when the gunner uses the overclock, so you can also use it, the pump shotgun. Because otherwise, I would just save the pump shotgun mainly for the overclock. The rest of the time, I would just use the pistol to shoot the enemies from far. My dock build. Oh, I only have one. I don't play dock much, to be honest. In here, I just focus on I try to make like a balance class from damage, which is the weakness of the dock. He cannot do a lot of damage, but still have a lot of abilities that make him useful to heal the thing. Like I said, I'm not saying this is the best build for dock. I'm just saying this is what I thought using, but I have not used this on like the insane. I have I think I don't remember even if I used this on stream, but on intense, like this is a very good build in my opinion for the dock. The trauma station here, I just increased the radius for it so people can heal from it in a higher space. The other ability I think is the one that you just have the damage resistance or inside of it. I just like the increased radius. There is another pack that increased the radio even more. Yeah, increased it even more. But I just didn't use it because I wanted to do this stuff. But yeah, increase the radio. I think it helps a lot in spreading the area, because sometimes you don't want your squad to be always very close to each other. And also the enemies that enter the area, the higher the area, it's better because it's gonna reduce their movement speed and damage dealt. So when they enter this bigger radio, this radius that the station is covering, they're gonna get slowed down and their damage is gonna do lower. So if they breach the perimeter, even if they breach the perimeter and start hitting your teammates and you, they're gonna be dealing a little bit less damage. So it's better. It's just the dog should be focused on trying to help the team, just try to keep the others alive. But the problem is that in higher difficulties, you need damage. Like there's no point in keeping your team alive if you cannot kill Tianans, because I mean you can only keep them alive for so long. Eventually you're gonna need damage to kill Tianans. So if you're just healing your teammates but Tianans are not getting killed, Tianans are not being out damaged, because in every game the key is always about out damaging your opponent, you're gonna die. So I just put a bunch of stuff here to increase weak point damage. Just all three here are just weak point damage. This one road speed and accuracy, because I'm gonna be using the plasma rifle. And the plasma rifle, I just want it to be more stable, and to load the speed is a weakness of it, which is it's very good. So this is a plasma rifle focused dock build pretty much. I would only use the pistol in case I lose ammo for my plasma rifle. Here is more damage. I gain a little bit of damage and handling for each part member, including yourself, that is above 75 HP, which is usually gonna be always. So we're gonna have 15% damage boost. So a perk that allows me to have a damage boost even more. I just want to focus on that. Here's another one. Increased movement, ability, recharge speed are increased by 10%, and reload speed and handling are increased by 20%. This one is this one like the field medic, or reference to this? He has a field medic ability, but this one is the one that makes them revive faster, like field medic and predator hunting grounds, just a fast revive. And this one, when you get someone that is down, they're gonna have more HP, and you have more time to pick them up. The bleed out time is increased. Field medic is the ability that for everybody that is close, my recharge speed is increased by 15%. Picking a 8 kit restore part of my trauma station. Field medic now grants you 5% damage out and 5% damage for each enemy nearby. So also gives me more damage and allows me to take less damage. Here the healing is increased. Here is a recharge speed of the combat stints, which help increase accuracy and stability. Stamina regen, movement speed, which I'm always using them. And this ability here lets me, while I'm using the combat stints, besides that, I get more damage. So it's like, I feel like there's a balance dock build, which allows me to help the fighting well. It has very perks that are useful to be able to heal them and keep them alive, but it also allows me to help in dealing damage. So it's like a balance, it's like a combat field medic. That's how I could call it. A lot of perks that help me to do more damage. I'm using the combat scenes as fast as possible. It's because of this perk here that I do more damage with the combat scenes, that I decided to increase the recharge speed, because I want to be able to do it more often so I can do more damage. And the rest of the perks are just, just a bunch of core perks that I believe that can be useful. But I never tried this on Insane, and the dog, to be honest, is not the best option on Insane. I already told you guys the meta for Insane is just Recon, Recon, Technician, and Gunner, and with that combination, you are able to defend yourself very well from the aliens. You are able to do a lot of damage to the aliens, and be able to continue doing that damage because I mean, Technician allows you to defend yourself, Gunner does the damage, and Recon provides support with the ammo and the wall hack to always know the location of the aliens. The dock is just not the meta. It's like the dock helps keeping the fighting alive and healing, but you don't need to heal if you're always killing the aliens before they even touch you, which is the focus on Insane. Just always killing the aliens and damage them to death before they can even touch you. So it's better to just not be damaged at all than be damaged and you then focus on a class that allows you to heal faster. So that's why I'm not using dock much. Recon, I have 2 builds. I didn't even remember. I don't think I think, let me see. I barely remember my builds for the Recon. But yeah, pump shotgun has always, and I snipe. Usually I would use a sniper rifle. It's more like a sniper focus class. Here, it's missing a point here. I just this is not a sniper focus build. This is a sniper. This was the one that I would use if I wanted to have fun with sniper. Here I just a bunch of perks that increases far distance damage by 20%. Here I put a bunch of rifle perks because I just wanted to have fun with the sniper. I just want to have the this one was, I believe, my attempt a while ago to make the most effective sniper build in the game for me. Getting headshot, recharge my abilities more. We can do more damage to heavily call, so I would always be using pups. That's why I have the increased recharge speed and duration increased by 20% on both, because I want to have this intact. So because I want them to always be as spotted as often as possible, so I can always do 10%. Not only me, but also my teammates. And this also gives the gunner even more of a damage boost, so it helps my teammates to do more damage. This is why I mean, I always like to have the Recon on Insane, because I mean, sometimes I did some missions on Insane and some people didn't want to bring the Recon. Oh, we can do it without him. They wanted to try different combinations, so the Recon doesn't do enough damage. But yeah, but this perk here is good because it allows the others to do more damage. And I don't know if this, I mean, and this counts for gunner, of course, for the weapons, but I'm not sure if this also counts for the turret of the Technician. But I mean, it's a good perk. I mean, 10% damage increase to everybody in the squad, as long as they are spotted. And most of the time, you're gonna be spotting the enemies. You're always gonna be activating the pups as soon as they become available. This one slows down the aliens, so it also helps. It does also a function that is similar to the one that the Technician does. You're gonna have both the Technician and the Recon slowing down the aliens. Technician will slow down aliens with the coils, and the Recon is gonna slow them down with the pups. So yeah, you always want to slow down the aliens because if they come too close to you, they kill you on Insane. So it's on Insane is just always about holding a position and killing the aliens before they reach that position. There's 2 ways to hold that position well: killing the aliens before they get there with insane damage, or by slowing the aliens down before they get to you. I mean, just usually it's a combination of both. You slowing down the aliens, it allows you to have a higher time to kill the aliens before they reach to you. There's only increased damage from far because, yeah, this is a sniper focus build. I think this one here is a more team-oriented build for the Recon. Yeah, this one is more team-oriented because my support don't have a perk for the support that increases damage resistance by 10%. This one, I do have a bunch of perks for my sniper. I still have the one that allows me to have more damage for the pups. All the pups are active. Getting a headshot, kill or recharge my abilities faster, because this one is good because I want to be able to use pups more often, of course, so I can always have the damage boost that counts for everyone. And also to support drone. I mean, support drone, I think the base, you don't need recharge speed increase for the support drone. Usually the time that it takes to recharge it, I don't think everybody's gonna run out of ammo. I think usually, I mean, if you are always using the support drone, if the Recon is doing a good job in always throwing to support drone when it becomes available, I don't think the fighting is gonna run out of ammo, to be honest. This is a new one. When pups and support drone are both active, our allies are granted 20% increased load speed, weapon handling, and range. I just decided to try it out. I think this is a new one that came out in this patch, because I didn't remember seeing this before, but I decided to try it out. Because usually I tend to use pups and support drone together. So I'm like, oh, when I use them together, load speed and weapon handling and range are gonna be increased. I just decided to try it out, to be honest. Here, the duration of the pups is gonna be extended. And well, that's it. That's my Recon. Phalanx, man, this is like, I think this is overall considered by most people to be the worst class in the game. I have not played it with it much in quite a while. So my loadout, I don't know if this is good. I really don't know. I I just put the perks that I thought it would be good. Like I just threw it. It was like handle thing, you know. I'm just gonna be telling you guys this. I don't like the idea of melee against the aliens. So that's because I didn't put any perks that focus on melee damage, because I know that this is a melee focus class pretty much. Because you have this shield, you're supposed to be melee the aliens, punching the aliens. Like here, this perk. Each time you kill an enemy, the damage of your next melee attack is increased by 100%, and it stacks up 5 times. So you're gonna have. So this is a class that is focused on just using a shield to protect yourself from the alien and just punch them to death. And I don't like the idea of a fucking human punching an alien to death. It's just fucking silly. So I didn't put anything here. I didn't put any perks from the shield up, because I think the whole shield is. I just don't think those are very useful. Like, it's supposed to be helping you doing melee attacks to stun the aliens, but I don't do melee. I have never used melee on this game as a marine. I have never. You guys can see here. I think, where's my stats? Look here, melee kills 0 melee kills, because it's fucking stupid the idea of a human killing an alien with melee. So I have never used melee. So this is gonna be 0 forever. I have never used melee. I don't even remember the key that is used to melee in this game, because I never use it. So yeah, this is clearly not the class for me, because I'm not gonna use melee. So I just focus on other perks. I put this one here. Nearby enemies take less damage, so it's kind of like a defensive, kind of like just protect my teammates, because usually you just raise the shield and you just want your teammates to stand behind you as you're just protecting them from them. So this is kind of like just they're gonna take less damage, and I'm gonna be on the front holding the aliens, and trust me, it doesn't help that much on Insane. I remember one guy tried to use the Phalanx on Insane. He just died. He just got down. I think there is a few missions which we managed to do with one guy using Phalanx, but it doesn't go that well, to be honest. I mean, he does have the pump shotgun. You can put the pump shotgun, which I mean, when the gunner uses the overclock, you're gonna kill the aliens very fast. So he has good weapons, and you can put a bunch of perks to be able to do more damage. But the shield itself, it doesn't really help that much against it. It helps more against the synthetics, to be honest, against the bullets. But against the aliens, if a warrior or a praetorian is close to you, that shield is not gonna help you last long, because I have seen people trying to just use the shield to hold down a boss alien, a warrior, or a praetorian, and they still got down. The alien just goes to the side and hit them, and you still get damage. Your shield is not gonna be able to do that much, especially against waves of aliens that swarm on you. If they are coming from all sides, they're gonna get down. So the shield is only helps you to protect a little bit on the front. It's not gonna do well. So I just put a bunch of perks for my close combat weapon, just a shotgun, because usually I'm gonna raise the shield and put the shotgun out. It's supposed to be a close combat class, right? But I mean, it's got close combat for melee, but I'm not gonna be using it for melee. I'm just gonna be using with the close combat weapon in case the pump shotgun. So all the other perks I put on the shock boost, which is the ability to just makes all the enemies that are close to you kinda just get stunned. It's like a electro. It's like a shock. It's like a big shock. It's like a little explosion, a shock explosion that stuns the aliens that are close to you. I mean, usually it's a close combat class, so of course you're gonna be getting close to the aliens, and you can use this to stun bosses. This is the ability that I put that it gives me, just instead of stunning the enemies, it just makes me stronger. But I don't, to be honest, I don't remember if this is really the best one. Which is the other one? This one is that it deals damage. I don't even know if this is good, to be honest. Because when you use this, you still have like a pool of shock in the ground. And I think that if the aliens step on it, it does look like they get stunned regardless. I increased the recharge speed. This one allows me to get stunning immunity. Also affected shock pulse also affects affected enemies to take additional 10% damage for 4 seconds. It felt like a good option. Here, more recharge speed. So I just wanted to be able to use this more often. Oh, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one that's why this one allows me to still stun the aliens despite putting this one, I think, because this perk leaves behind the electric field. Yeah, it's what I see in the floor when I use this. And it slows down the aliens that come close to you. Yeah. So well, I really don't know if this is good because I have not used this class much. I have used the Lancer much more. I do enjoy the Lancer because I wanted to use the heavy weapons on other class as well. So it's like a Demolisher variant. I think that I like the Demolisher more because I think the micro rockets are more fun to use, and the damage stacking of the micro rockets getting stacks and damage boost. But I think this one is also good. The particle wave is fun against mainly bosses. You can take a lot of their HP with the shoulder cannon plasma thing, that like a predator ripoff, the ability. You just use that and you can take a lot of the HP from a predator. I mean, goddamn, what am I saying? A lot of HP from alien. Then I'm mixing up everything. And I do like this one. And also you can use against waves. You can also not only get damage on the boss, take a good portion of his HP, but also take waves of aliens if they are very close to each other. And the onslaught is also very powerful, especially for the heavy weapon. It just makes you increase it. It slow down the movement speed and fire rate, but increases the weapon damage resistance. You just become slower and with the increased fire rate, but your damage increases, damage resistance, weapon damage increase, and you don't have to reload. Like you can use your entire ammo magazine with this ability with the heavy weapon. And with the minigun it's really fun because the minigun, like, you can use like you don't have to reload with the minigun, or you just use the entire ammo. It's like you just use like 400 bullets max ammo. You just use it everything. This one here is especially very fun with the overclock. If you have a gunner with you and you use overclock and you use this, because the weakness of this one is that it slows out the fire rate, but then the overclock increases the fire rate. So it pretty much like takes the negative of this ability. So you pretty much like unload all your ammo for the heavy weapon in like a few seconds. Everything is like the fire rate is increased so much you don't have to reload. I was playing on this restock turrets, and I saw my entire ammo for the heavy weapon just go from full to 0 in just a few seconds, and I was just melting, destroying the bosses. Like it was like 2 Praetorians, or like a Praetorian with a warrior coming one after the other in restock turrets mode. And my heavy weapon, who just, I didn't have to reload. I just would keep shooting them, like it's go after bullet, just using all my ammo, and I didn't have to reload, so they all died. Like there was nothing preventing me from keeping doing damage. So it was very fun. I do like this class. Overwatch, they want that you while you're standing still, you get more damage, and it goes up to I think 15%. It's a little less than what you can get up to with the Demolisher, but this one is fun. What? My Lancer packs? Oh no, it is a wrong build. Yeah, this is the build. Yeah, I think this one here, I was trying to make a build and then I kinda forgot to finish it. But yeah, this is a good build for it. Here one at the particle lens, I think it already is strong enough on its own for what it should be. So I just focus on being able to use it more often, but with the recharge speed perks. Here this one is slow down the bosses, because not only it does a good damage to the boss, so I might take like half of it, 80 HP bar. And then he gets slowed down. It's just gonna be stunned for a little while. It's good. This one just perks to increase the power of my heavy weapon. And the rest of stuff is just in onslaught. Increase the duration, it makes last longer. I just want to make it last longer, be able to do more damage while I'm doing it. Here I no longer lose stacks of the damage boost here, the Overwatch, that allows me to have. Usually you just, as long as you're standing still, you're always gonna have a permanent 15 damage boost. Onslaught also gives me humidity to stuns, stumbles, knockdowns, and I get a temporary damage increased HP. Here I just increase. I only had 2 spaces left, so I just put the one to recharge speed. Here I had another build. No, I don't have it. Yeah, I don't know. I made 2 more loadouts, but I didn't finish the build. How about making a build now? This one I don't know. Damage on enemies in the path. Fires are short. I don't like the idea of short range, because I like to use this one sometimes from very far. Deals less damage, but stumbles eradicate nearby enemies. I think the normal one is already good enough. Increases damage. What did I even do here with this one? I'm gonna make a new build. I want to make maybe something different. In the other one I didn't put anything over Overwatch. Overwatch can stack 6 times. Yeah, it goes up to 5. With this one, it's gonna go up to 6. So it's gonna have up to 18% damage boost. Why not? Let's make a new build, because I'm gonna show you guys how I make builds in this game. I just look at the perk and I think, oh, I think this is gonna work. So that's all. It's like bro science. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be effective. We just try and error. Slow them down. Oh, what did it have here? Allies deal 10% more damage to enemies target you. I think this is too situational. I prefer like damage boost when the enemies are not even targeting me yet. 20% of received damage is restored in a recovery pool. After not take damage for 8 seconds, you recover the stored amount has HP. Has HP over 5 seconds. So I get damage. I'm not sure if this like I'm trying to understand how it works. I never use this one. 20% of the received damage is stored in a recovery pool. So every time I get damage, a certain amount is gonna be like in this recovery pool. After not take a damage, I'm gonna get my HP back. I'm gonna get this. I'm always gonna get 20% HP back, so it's gonna be like a constant 20% damage reduction. Because like I take damage, I take like 100 damage, but at 20%, 20, I'm gonna get it back eventually. I prefer just like, I think it's better to not try to focus on breaks and help you to not get damage at all. Increase it in common healing and max HP. I mean, I suppose I had to use this together with this because I don't have healing in normal. Increase stamina recharge. Damage from melee. Nah, I don't really care about this. To be honest, I don't really like this core packs. Don't really look interesting to me. When I activate this ability, I gain max stats on Overwatch. Yeah, okay. This one can be interesting. I think I'm just gonna put recharge. I do want to use this more often. Or maybe I should put it here. Oh wait. Now let's put it like this. I can put the one for the heavy weapon in this square here. Core, yeah. Heavy handling and magazine capacity. Oh, what's the one for the Demolisher? Demolisher, Fox, yeah, similar. Here I should put everything, or at least fire rate, stability, radios. I mean, radios, it doesn't really matter. It's more for the explosive ones, but damage is good. Oh shit! I pressed the wrong key. Now everything I should put for this one now. I don't lose stacks if I decide to move. Damage boost. I don't think this one is that good actually. It's good because if they come close to you, if a boss breaches your perimeter and hits you, you won't be stunned by it, and you have more HP. But to be honest, I would prefer like do they have long only 5% damage? I would want to put some of them that would just increase damage, but there are not many options for onslaught. There are not that many perks for it. I still have 3 points left. Oh yeah, I should make one for the man who have space. I need to put the duration, the one for duration, because I think the weakness of this one it takes it takes longer to recharge. But I need to remake my stuff here. Shit, I need like a three squares right next to each other. Shit. Yeah, I wanted to put duration. Yeah, I wanted this to last longer. Wait, I'm gonna have to remake this whole thing because I didn't got space. This, yeah. Shit. There's always gonna be like one spot that is not gonna be covered. Okay, now let's try this. There, I think I got it this time. Yeah, it's all full. Nice. Okay, just made myself a new Demolisher, but I'm gonna be trying it out. Maybe next time I play. I'm gonna be trying this out. Yeah, okay, so these are all my current builds for all my Marine classes on this game as of now. And well, as you guys see, it's just me trying to come up with whatever I think is gonna work. And it usually works. I mean, I did get to beat the game on Insane. And usually, like these builds, most of these builds I can handle myself fine. Even like Doc, which is not very good for damage. I can play alone on Intense with bots, and most of my missions I just handle fine. I would say that all these builds can be good on even maybe not the Phalanx one, because Phalanx one is not good enough. But I think I would just say all these builds can be good up to extreme. On Insane, I usually tell people just go Gunner, Gunner, the Technician, and Recon, and bring human tanks. Like, you don't want to risk yourself on Insane. But okay guys, this was my video talking about my builds. See ya next time.